The biggest news story of the week, Whistlin Diesel's arrest. We got some drama news first, and then we'll get into car news. Whistlin Diesel has been arrested. It's a travesty. No, I'm kidding. It's not a travesty, and I want to just do it.
Coming out strong against Cody.
Are you ready? Listen, I want to start by saying I am Whistlin's biggest fan. I watch every video. I love Whistlin. I have been on the record talking about how much I adore Whistlin Diesel. Yeah, we bought
Filippo died.
Yeah, we bought part of his G-Wagon that he tore apart, and he sold parts of it. I love Whistlin Diesel. He got arrested this week. Ostensibly, what's been published and what he has confirmed is that he got arrested for tax evasion for Montana plates on his car, on his Ferrari, and which he destroyed.
By burning down a cornfield.
It burned down a cornfield.
That's all that's upset Filippo. Blanco upset about the car. Filippo's upset about the corn.
He has already come out, and I've decided I'm going to use our podcast today, the largest automotive podcast, to do a little Montana plates rant. I think it's time to just really cover this and shut this all down.
All right, buckle in, Filippo. Here we go.
I am back for a day.
Whistlin, who I love dearly and sincerely, has already gone on his Instagram and started to advocate for himself using the primary argument that people who do the Montana plate thing use, which is, I don't own the car. A business in Montana owns the car. Therefore, I am not liable to pay taxes in my state of Tennessee. There's only one problem with that. The law in the state of Tennessee, which I have right here, disagrees with you. The law is very clear. It says a non-resident owner of a private passenger automobile, that would be the Montana LLC, is the non-resident owner, who operates the vehicle in this state, shall not be entitled to reciprocity in a period in excess of 30 days. And the problem with the argument, well, I don't own the car, they own the car in Montana, so the state law doesn't distinguish. And this is the issue that almost everybody has when I see these arguments on Renlist and on Ferrari Chat and on Reddit. Oh, but I don't own the car. The law says if you operate in the state for more than 30 days, you must re-register the vehicle in the state. That's what Tennessee law is. It doesn't care who owns the car. Yeah. God himself could own the car. But if God is operating the car in Tennessee for 30 days, he's got to register it in Tennessee. The law is very clear. It does not talk about the owner of the car. It talks about the place where the car is operated.
Right.
Now,
I suspect the reason that the states have difficulty proving this, they have to prove that the car
prove that the car has been in the states for 30 days, in the state for 30 days. Used to be difficult to prove, but something interesting has happened over the last decade. License plate readers have showed up all over the country. You do not notice them when you are driving around. They are high up on telephone poles, and there are license plate readers that look down and constantly are getting license plate information. Now, here in California, a little lib state, license plate readers have been very lightly dispatched, and the use of license plate readers has been heavily curtailed to the California Highway Patrol. They are basically not really able to use license plate readers for the purposes of enforcing this law.
Right. They can't even look back beyond that.
They only can look back 90 days unless there's like a murder they're investigating. So they're not using it for this purpose. Right. However, in the Republican states, which are super Blue Lives Matter, let's enforce the law, there has been a much different deployment of license plate readers. And the result of that is that these states do have the ability to pretty easily figure out if you have been operating your car in the state for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or many years. Now, I looked up the law in a few states. California law is the same. They don't care who owns the car. Montana person, a Florida person, if you're in the car, in the state with the car for 30 days, you have to register it in the state. That's the law. Utah has an amazing law. They start tying it to insurance. And I think this is the real key to the whole thing, because Utah has figured out nobody's going to play the game with insurance. What everybody does is they get a cheap liability policy in Montana, and then they get a full insurance policy in the state where they actually operate the car, because you have to if you get in an accident. The Utah's law is, hey, if you insure the car in Utah, you have to register it in Utah. That will put a stop to the Montana thing completely if you get pulled over. Now, I will say, I looked this up. There are some states that do not tie the operation of the car to registration. Louisiana, a guy in Louisiana arrested for doing this with an RV, which is also a popular Montana thing because they're so expensive, took him to court and the court sided with him. The Louisiana law said that if an owner has the car, then he has to register it. And he was like, well, I'm not the owner of the Montana. And the court actually sided with him and he didn't have to pay his fees. Louisiana law, and there are probably other states, the law is vague about this and you could get away with it. But that's not true in California. It's not true in Tennessee. It's not true in Utah. I have a friend in Massachusetts who got his car impounded.
Really?
Run Montana plates. And they impounded the car until he registered in Massachusetts. And you cannot get away anymore with the days of license plate readers. And I think that Whistlin Diesel, and I love him dearly. He is my everything. I mean this, I love him. He's my favorite YouTuber. I think this is kind of the beginning of the end for the Montana situation.
You think he's an example?
I think they are trying to make an example of him. And the fact that Tennessee is cracking down, everybody's like, oh, California is cracking down. They liberals, they want to get everything, government's in your pocket. Well, Tennessee, Georgia had a big thing a couple of years ago where they arrested, like, these states want their money. They don't care if it's Republicans. They want their money. And I think that this is going to be the end of the beginning of the end of the Montana thing is license plate readers and the states actually trying to go after it. Now, I will say, the thing that makes me sad about this is that there are legitimate reasons to do Montana. California's smog laws are actually stupid. Like my G-Wagon, which we spent 10 months and $10,000 in order to get it California compliant, just to prove to the state of California that it has the very same engine that it had in Europe that it had in the US. We still had to spend a year and $10,000. I think it's totally reasonable to run Montana plates so you can avoid smog when you're not actually polluting anymore. And guess what? After all those 10 months in the state lab, they discovered, oh, it has the same emissions profile. It's stupid. It's silly. Those kind of things. Inspection. If you want to have your stanced LS400 in New Jersey and you don't want to go to state inspection, well, I'm here for you.
Maybe there's a reason the state doesn't want it.
No, we let those people fly their LS400 flag. And the thing that annoys me is that for all of you who are out there doing, when I see a Huracan on Montanas, I'm like, what a loser. When I see a right-hand drive Delica on a South Dakota plate, give them a little nod and you move on. Montana, though, for all of us who have done it to avoid smog, we don't care about the taxes, to avoid smog, to avoid inspection, it has been ruined by people, rich people, who didn't want to pay sales tax on their McLaren. And that has come and has got you. And if you're out here driving one of these cars that is doing Montanas because you have to get away from the inspection people, the right-hand drive thing, you should be annoyed that these people with their Huracans and with their McLarens have gone out and tried to avoid taxes. Now, I want to make two other quick points here. The biggest argument I see about Montana online when it comes up, well, all the U-Hauls are registered in Arizona. How do they get away with it? U-Hauls and commercial trucks are governed under something called the International Registration Plan, which gives apportioned license plates to commercial vehicles. This allows commercial vehicles, unrelated to supercars, to pay state taxes based on the miles they drive within each state. This was created decades ago. Back in the day, trucks operating over the road used to have 5 license plates on them for the states they went to. That was decided to be stupid. So now you register in one state, but you pay taxes to all the states. That's how it's done. It's a commercial truck thing. It's totally unrelated. It has nothing to do with this. And I was on Reddit and I saw some guy got 500 upvotes being like, well, U-Haul does it, so why can't Whistlin? It's not the same. U-Haul there is a specific law, a reciprocity agreement between all states that covers U-Hauls. I also want to make the point, the other big argument I see when people get into this whole thing, oh, well, fine, you're supposed to pay the sales tax, but they're going to use it stupidly, and you shouldn't pay sales tax on a used good. Change the law. This is a democracy. Change the law. You know why you haven't changed the law yet? Because there's not a lot of empathy out there for people who get in and say, I can't believe they're charging me sales tax on a used $300,000 Ferrari. That's why the law hasn't been changed yet, because most people actually agree with the law. They want to use the roads and have police and fire departments, and there is no sympathy for people, oh, they're not going to use the money right. Well, then get the law changed. There is no political will to change the law because the law is correct as it is written, no matter how much you don't want to pay sales tax because you can barely afford your Huracan. I will say one thing in Whistlin Diesel's defense. I think it's wild he got arrested. Any other state, every other state I've heard deal with this, it's a letter in the mail. We know you're avoiding sales tax. You got 30 days to pay up, make it right. To go and arrest the president, I mean, I know they're trying to make an example. It's stupid. It's just silly. They wouldn't have done it for any other person other than him. Everybody else, you get a letter, here's your tax burden, we know you're lying. If you want to challenge it, you can do this. Go arrest. It's silly. It's an idiotic thing to do. I hope it benefits him greatly. I hope that he's able to make an amazing video based on the arrest.
I think it has. Just based on what he's posting, I think it's actually been a good thing for him.
So there's my Montana plate rant. I wanted to cover all of the arguments, all of my thoughts on the Montana thing. It's sketch. I know a California collector who had DMV sent him a letter.
Yep.
He paid the tax after, but they got in a ton of trouble recently. My Massachusetts friend, the Utah thing. This is going away. The license plate readers is gonna put this away, and I'm not gonna be able to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So my car's registered in California. Don't have to think about it.
Obviously, all of mine are. What do you think I am? My full $35,000 in vehicle value is all here. Now that I really appreciate legitimately that 11-minute rundown of
I do
Montana.
think it's important. You see all these arguments online by people who think they know better. And the simple truth is there's a lot more to this than you realize.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why the states don't want to go after their money.
Right. And they have a lot of incentive to do it. I am surprised. I'm disappointed, but not surprised by the example that they've tried to create here in Whistlin Diesel. There's also some question in my mind of whether there's additional charges that the state may want to bring.
It seemed a lot of money in bail for this thing. I will say it was reported as both $2 million and $200,000. Now, in some states, you can put up 10% of bail to get out. So I'm not sure which was the correct one. It still seems like a lot, considering probably their assessment of his sales tax evasion is $20,000.
Yeah, 7% of the value.
If you pay attention to his videos, he's got all these cars registered in Montana. There's probably a 6-figure balance due there. But
I wouldn't be shocked that it's to say if there's another shoe that drops on some of this, but nevertheless, quite a big show of force for a tax evasion issue.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of silly, to be honest. And I feel bad for. I mean, he doesn't care, probably. Like he loves it. He loves it as a channel. He bailed out in 2 hours. It's no big deal. He's going to write the tax, the thing, and whatever. But I do think it's a bit of a silly thing to do. But I also think like this is kind of the beginning of this Montana thing. If you're still doing this, you're looking at him. He got arrested. I have personal stories. A lot of people have personal stories. These states know what's going on, and this is not going to continue to last. Do we know anybody who's doing Montana anymore?
Just Nick.
But he's not. He stopped.
The multiple, I believe.
Another good example of a car that is done Montana because the smog regulation is ridiculous. He's going to do 1,000 miles a year in that car. He's sales tax on that car would be $100.
Right, exactly. Which he'd happily pay.
But now he's getting screwed because all the high profile people have gone out there and made a big thing of it, stealing money from these states, and so now nobody can do it.
Well, let me put it this way: drive it around. We know some people.
I have some acquaintances.
Some acquaintances,
but all of us have dabbled in it.
I've heard.
I've never dabbled.
Never once had
There were thoughts on all of our minds that we would at some point.
I've literally never considered it.
I talked about it, but like it didn't end up being a thing.
And now it won't. I'm not doing it anymore. This is clear. I'm not getting arrested. Come on.
They did not for that car. It was.
It's also just not worth it.
Yeah.
No, it really is.
If you can afford the car, pay the tax. Or so many of these states allow loopholes, like write the amount on the bill of sale. Like take advantage of that. I'm sure Tennessee. Tennessee is not out there checking.
Don't. Just follow your state's guidance.
Follow your state's guidelines and rules.
Please,
but if,
thank you.
But if
I could
they
see
have
it.
lax rules
Please
around the
thank
bill
you.
of sale.
All right,
I can see a bead of sweat coming out of Felipe's forehead.
You get my point, though.
Welcome back, Felipe.
That is, in all honesty, that is another thing. I look at these singers and I'm astonished. These guys are driving around in what is titled as a 1989 Porsche 911. That is a $23,000 car to your state tax authority, and they're still driving Montana plates. I'm like, what are you thinking? Just get the damn car titled. What is wrong with you?
Yep.
Anyway,
when we first started selling our own merch at merch.carsandbits.com, I thought, how hard can it be? And then suddenly I'm dealing with product pages, photos, inventory, shipping labels, all the stuff that nobody warns you about. That's when Shopify became our not-so-secret weapon. It turned something overwhelming into something we can actually manage. Shopify powers millions of businesses around the world, including 10% of all e-commerce in the US. Brands like Mattel and Gymshark rely on it, and now we do too. What makes Shopify so good is how fast it gets gets you up and running. You can build a great-looking store using hundreds of ready-made templates, and Shopify's built-in AI tools help you write product descriptions, page headlines, and even clean up your product photography. The marketing's easy too. Shopify lets you create email blasts and social campaigns right inside the platform, so it feels like you suddenly have a full team backing you up. And behind the scenes, Shopify handles all the complicated stuff: inventory, international shipping, returns, all of it. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big ideas into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/cars. That's shopify.com/cars.